exactly what you want to see. Let's run this puppy in. Score a touchdown and tie this game. Life, run for your life, touchdown on one play. Worked on this in practice. Touchdown. It's up to Kelvin Benjamin. This is all you, buddy. Kelvin Benjamin for a touchdown. Oh, he toasted his man. Holmes toasted his man. Spin move. Oh! Oh! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to a little bit of a sobering video for all my Patriots fans out there. The season is starting, as you guys are fully aware of. The season is starting in like the second week of September, which is coming up really, really soon. I'm super excited about it. And as we know, being on this channel, I am a huge New England Patriots fan. Now, I've gone through some criticism in the past when I was younger, going through school. Oh, you're a Patriots fan, you're a bandwagon because, oh, they're winning Super Bowls. You just like them because they're good. No, I picked up the Patriots. If you want a little brief history of why I'm a Patriots fan, it was probably, I'd have to say maybe 2006, 2007, around that time. And yeah, I know the Patriots were really good around that time, obviously. And I was sitting down with my brother and my dad, and we're watching NFL Sunday, and it just so happened that we were watching a game that the Patriots were playing, and Tom Brady was out there, and it was probably 2006, I would say. Tom Brady was out there, and I was like, who's that? And they told me it's Tom Brady. And so I was like, I like Tom Brady. I like what he's doing out here. I think I'm gonna be a fan of the Patriots. And at that time, I didn't really understand football. I was only 6 years old at the time, and maybe 7, and I just liked Tom Brady. I liked the colors of the jerseys. I liked the name Patriots. I just became a fan of them, and then yeah, I lucked into becoming a fan of one of the best organizations of the 20th century, and so they won. They almost went undefeated the next season with Randy Moss, and Randy Moss is probably my favorite player other than Tom Brady. So that was great. And then they unfortunately, I vividly remember watching that Super Bowl against the New York Giants and David Tyree. It makes me angry to this day. The helmet catch to give the Giants an advantage in that game burns me to the core to this day. I despise David Tyree. If I saw him on the street today, I would spit on his shoes because I despise David Tyree. I'm just kidding. I don't like David Tyree as an NFL player. As a human, he's probably wonderful. But as an NFL player, just hate David Tyree. So I vividly remember crying because of that play. I remember the tears. So yeah, I go back a while in terms of my history watching the Patriots. So I see a lot obviously I follow a lot of Patriots accounts on Twitter and on Instagram and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of Patriots fans I follow on Twitter, they follow me, and I've been seeing a lot of hype around this Patriots team in 2022. Mac Jones is going to take that next step. He's going to become a better quarterback than he was even last year. He was a really good quarterback last year. Bill Belichick's going to get this team back on track. We're going to go back to the Super Bowl. We're going to go back to win championships. Who's Tom Brady? Forget about Tom Brady. We got Big Mac. So I've been seeing an absolute massive amount of hype around this Patriots team. We brought in Devontae Parker. We added some depth at the defensive side of things. But did we forget that we lost J.C. Jackson? One of the best corners in the league last year? Did we forget that fact? Did we forget that our offensive line gets hurt every season? Did we forget that Damian Harris gets hurt every season? I don't know if the hype is deserved in New England, at least with the Patriots fans. I think they're drinking a little bit of the Kool-Aid, if you know what I mean. So this is my honest, heartfelt speech to the Patriots and to Patriots fans everywhere. This is my personal, honest opinion on what I think the Patriots are going to do. The Patriots will look good. Mac Jones will surprise even more than he did last year. They will win a few games. They'll look pretty good, and then they'll get into a slump. They'll play Buffalo a couple of times. They'll play Miami a couple of times. They'll play, I don't remember the schedule very much, but they'll play some tough teams. They'll lose. They will probably have some injuries, and this team will not be great. I'm sure at the beginning of the season, they'll probably win a couple games. I think they start with Miami, so they'll probably lose week 1 against Miami, because I think Miami's a little bit better than the Patriots. So they'll probably start 0-1, but then they'll get it back on track. Everything will be smooth sailing. The fans, the media will be all over Mac Jones, saying, oh, Mac Jones might win MVP this year. He's having that good of a season. And then it'll come all back down to earth. Back down, it'll level itself out, and the Patriots will end up being an 8-win team, a 7-win team, or a 9-win team. I think they're in that range, 7 to 9 wins. I don't think they get any higher. I don't think they get any lower. Actually, there is a possibility where they could get a little bit lower. I think there's a possibility. It's not very high, but I think there is a slight possibility that the Patriots win like 4 or 5 games this year. That's how bad I personally think they could be. Yeah, Devontae Parker's a really good wide receiver, but he was struggling in Miami. In Miami, they heaved the ball around the field. And Devontae Parker was struggling to catch passes, struggling to get yards, and that might have been on Tua. There's a good possibility that was on Tua. But for the most part, Devontae Parker was struggling there. He struggles with injuries a couple of seasons. So is he going to be good? Yeah, you got Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is a really good wide receiver. He's like the new, improved Julian Edelman. And you've got Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris. You've got a good offensive line, I want to say, because you got Trent Brown, you've got David Andrews, who's a veteran, you've got Isaiah Wynn, but he gets hurt all the time, you got Michael Onwenu. I mean, the offensive line has the potential to be really, really solid and to carry this team forward, but they haven't proven in the past that they can stay healthy, so that's an issue. The secondary's not great. Yeah, Kyle Duggar's amazing. I do like Kyle Duggar, but he's probably going to get exposed a little bit without the help of J.C. Jackson, because when opposing quarterbacks were looking down the field and they saw J.C. Jackson covering your best wide receiver, that allowed Kyle Duggar to be more open on the secondary receivers and cause more fumbles, get a couple interceptions, get some nice open field tackles. It just flowed better because of that presence on the field with J.C. Jackson. That's gone. That's gone now. So you got to rely on McCourty. You got to rely on Duggar. You got to rely on... Actually, did McCourty retire? No, I think he's still there. I don't remember. But you got to rely on them. You got to rely on this linebacking core, which I don't think is very good this year. You got to rely on the defensive line, which I don't think is very good this year. So there's a lot of holes on this Patriots team that are very obvious that the Patriots fans just put the blinders on and they just want to believe that this team is not going to be as bad as they were. But I'm not that kind of fan. I'm a real fan. I'm going to tell you when my own team is bad. And I think I'll tell you that with Ohio State. I'll tell you that with the Reds. I'll tell you that with the Heat. I'll tell you that with the Patriots. Those are all my favorite teams. I'll tell you that in the Crew and the Blue Jackets. Those are all my favorite teams. I will tell you that with every single team. If I think they're bad, I'll tell you, because I'm not gonna sugarcoat things when I know that they can be better. The Patriots have spoiled me. They've given me success. Yeah, that was with a different era. That was a different quarterback, the greatest of all time. But we're in a new era. You gotta keep you can't have that same level of expectations, but you gotta bring your expectations down just a little bit next to that next level. But you still gotta have those high expectations because you are the Patriots. You are the best team of the decade. You are 6-time champions. You are Bill Belichick. You've got this pedigree. You've got all this stuff. You've got to keep those expectations high, and I don't think they've done a good job of building a roster around Mac Jones and around the talent that they do have. Hunter Henry was amazing last year, and Johnny Smith was okay, but Hunter Henry is really, really good last year. And they've brought in some stuff, but you didn't really do a good job this offseason. I'm going to be blunt with you. You didn't really do a good job of bringing in talent, and they lost talent, more importantly. So in my honest opinion, this Patriots team is going to surprise some people, and not in a good way. I think they're going to be a lot worse than what people are giving them credit for, and Patriots fans, the majority, are thinking they're going to be back in the playoffs. Mac Jones is going to be amazing. That may be true. I hope it's true. I hope it's true that Mac Jones is amazing and this team is back in the playoffs and they actually deserve to be there. But If we get another situation where it's late in the season and they're fighting for a wild card spot, just give up. Because last year, we should never have been in the playoffs at all. Give that spot to the Chargers. We should never have been in that situation in the first place because we did not belong there. We were not in the same stratosphere of talent as the Josh Allen Buffalo Bill led team. So that's my honest opinion. This Patriots team, I think, is going to be worse than what Patriots fans want to accept. And I'm here to tell you that it's just the facts of life. That's just how this thing goes. So that's all I got to say on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down below if you have an opinion that disagrees with mine, because you're probably gonna. My opinion's pretty harsh. My opinion is pretty against Patriots culture. And so even though I am a big Patriots fan and I want my opinion to be wrong, trust me, I really, really do want my opinion to be wrong. But I don't think it's gonna be. And I'm just waiting for the Patriots to prove me right. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.